So tonight's stream, I'm gonna work through this how to make this virtual fish tank. This is one version that I've made. Basically, you run it, and you've got the little bubble sound effect, and the fish just moving around the scene. So that's what we're gonna work through, and we'll see how this goes. All right. So, all right, we're gonna create a new program. So, first thing I like to do, make sure I give it a name so I don't forget later. And this is a fish tank, so let's go ahead and add some fish to our scene. So I'm gonna add some fish. So let's go to animals here. So let's add this guy, and what else? We're gonna add all three of these fish. Yes, Tane did some math homework. This is good news. Always good news. All right. A couple more fish. We also are going to add, there's a little starfish sprite. So let's find that. It's right here. I like my starfish. It looks a little scared. And then we're also gonna find there's an octopus, and that'll be all we'll have in our fish tank. So let's grab him as well. All right. Now the cat doesn't belong in the fish tank. It's a couple different ways you can right click to delete. You can also, you've got the scissors up here. If you click on that and then click on the sprite you want to delete, that'll get rid of it too. All right. Now let's give these guys a background so they can see what can look a little bit like a fish tank. So this would be, let's see, the background we want is, oh, here we go. You can pick any of these underwater ones. I think for, yeah, we're going to do this sort of cartoonish looking guy. Underwater 3. Okay. You know what? I don't like the way that looks. Let's change that up. Let's grab this guy. Oh yeah, that looks better. I think I like this. All right. I'm gonna go ahead and get rid of the backdrops we don't need. And here we go. Now, what can also be a good idea is you've got these different fish. I think fish 1, fish 2, fish 3 is fine. If you want to give them more descriptive names, that's totally cool too. You know, purple, yellow, polka dot. But I think these are descriptive enough as it is. But that's always something to consider. Couple other things. We're going to get a little sound effect going. We want to add, you know, some sound to this, as well as we're going to get these guys moving. So typically when I add sort of a background sound, it makes sense to put that in the backdrop. So I go to the backdrop, I click sounds up here. I'm going to get rid of the pop sound. We don't need that. And then we're going to get, I believe it's the bubble sound. Hopefully you can hear a little bubble sound effect there. So I'm going to click on that, add that. Okay, and basically, we're going to want that sound to play throughout the entire thing. So when the green flag is clicked, I'm going to add a forever loop. And then I like to use the just play sound until done. It's just one script. And so now I click the flag, that bubble sound effect is going to keep going the whole way through. So next step here, let's get some things moving. Now, the simple way to get one of these guys moving is we're going to add the flag. This is also going to be a forever loop because, you know, the idea is that this plays, you make this happen, and it just, you know, everything's moving, and you just put it on as background noise. All right. So what I'm going to add now is we'll just add a move block And then one of the great things about Scratch is it has this if on edge bounce. So every time it's going to move, it's going to keep moving until it hits the edge of the screen, and then it'll turn back and go the other direction. All right, and we don't need things moving too fast, so well, to test it, I'm going to do a 5 just to show here. So fish 1 is now going to start moving, but notice when he bounces back the other way that he turns upside down. So there's a quick way to fix this. I click on the eye, and I change its rotation style, so it's just going to be left-right. So now every time it moves, it's just going to go left to right, left to right. Right. So I'm also going to slow it down a little bit, and then now that I've adjusted this rotation style, I can change its direction too. So now we kind of get this slow movement, up around. It's going to go all around the fish tank. Now what we're going to do is we're just going to get the other fish moving as well. So, that's the basic idea. This is a pretty straightforward little program. So the starfish, I think, I like him just facing 90 degrees, sort of going along the bottom here. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to drag this block, and I'm just going to drag it down here to the starfish. So now it's here in the fish, and it's also in the starfish. I think 2 steps is probably fine. And then I'm going to drag this into each of the other fish sprites and the octopus. And then from here, it's just a matter of setting your fish so that you can have them all going slightly different speeds. You can have them facing different directions. Oop, got to make sure and change that rotation style. Let's make this guy go a little bit faster and fix that rotation style. Starfish, oop, got to get the rotation style. And then the octopus. Let's have this guy go at like 1.5. Oops, here we go. All right, so I've adjusted the direction, the rotation style of each of the different sprites and some of the speeds, and so now we get this going, and we've got this nice, peaceful little fish tank scene. And that's the basic idea here. So just creating this this little fish tank. You can just set it, forget it, relax, and watch the fish move around. Now, this is the basic play here. I want to show you in the other one that I made a couple additional things I added to it. So for the octopus, I wanted him to. The octopus has these 2 costumes. Oops, let's go to the octopus. So that when he switches between these costumes, it sort of looks like he's propelling himself through the water. So I added, that he's going to move and then switch the costume so that you sort of get this movement effect. I also use those costumes on the starfish, but a little bit differently. Just after it bounces on the edge, I check the direction, and I switch between this costume and the next one. So we'll see after he bounces on the edge here that we get this new costume. There we go. Now he looks a little happier. So there's with all these programs, there's all sorts of different things you can do and try to make them your own. So, and that's one of the great things about Scratch. Is it's a great way to experiment and try new things. So every program can be a little bit different. When you're done with this program, you can go here, add some instructions, click the green flag, and enjoy. And once again, this is a program from Scratch programming, Scratch 2.0 programming for teens by Jerry Lee Ford. Program from It's good to give credit. And yeah, now you've got yourself a little fish tank program. So that's the program. I'm gonna go back later. I'll post this little walkthrough up on YouTube if you want to make this on your own time later. All right. Share the program, and now everyone can check out my new fish tank. So.